Hello everyone, I am Erika of the storytellingjuveler.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly beady broadcast where every Friday we come together from all corners of the world, from different continents, and we work on the same design and keep each other company. Thank you so much for joining me today for this flowery earring that we are going to bead. We will be working on the bloom earrings. And as you can see, I totally went into a flowery outfit with my blouse and with my earrings. And I even have some beautiful tulips behind me. So I am also really looking forward to bead my second color combination of the bloom. And I see already, just dropped it in the meanwhile, sorry. I see already friendly faces joining, and I see 𝐓𝐎𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐄𝐄, I see Tanya, Katja is here, Monica is here, Anne, Elena, Maria, Eleanor, Sarah, Marietta is here too. Petra, hello ladies. Today I am broadcasting at the same time on my Facebook page and at the same time in the Storytelling Beading Club. So if you are watching from the Storytelling Beading Club and you haven't done it yet, then I have posted a link right at the beginning. I will post it again now, and you need to click on it in order for my broadcasting program to see your name and your face. So then I can say that hello Kata and hello Catherine, and Vania is here for a few minutes. And then we have a Facebook user, hello ladies, hello. Katy is here, Teresa is here, Janine, Claire. Claire says, hello everyone from sunny England. Well, I have to say that even the Netherlands is sunny today. I even had mood for an ice cream, and that means that spring is here. That's a good indication. Erika wants to eat ice cream, then it's spring. And Connie is here, and Gabriella, and Kay is here again, and Gunella also. Welcome, ladies. Today, we actually have a collective birthday, as last year in 2020, the first No One Has to Bead Alone beading lesson happened on the 20th of March. So it will be tomorrow, our first collective birthday or first anniversary that we started to meet every Friday and come together and have lots of fun together. So congratulations to everyone. And thank you so much for coming every week and keeping each other company. It's wonderful. In the meanwhile, Aileen joined us. Hello, Aileen. And Lutka and Shirley. Wonderful. If you would like to have a printable file to accompany you during our lesson, then I have posted the usual link. We always have the file uploaded at the storytellingjuveler.com/no-one-has-to-bead-alone/. You can also look back if you want to see the nearly 50 designs that we have been working on together. So yeah, you can head over, if you haven't done it yet, you can head over to the page that I have just posted, and you can either download the file for free, and then it's my helping hand to you and my gift to you, or you can decide to support the broadcast and download it for €5. And Teresa has a very good question. When is the first birthday party? And lovely ladies, I wanted to keep it until the end, but since Teresa is asking, I think it is the highest time to come together again for a Zoom session. So then finally, I am not the only one talking, but we can also see each other and have nice time together talking to each other. So next week, I will be not coming with a new design, but before the usual time, I will post a Zoom link in the Storytelling Beading Club. This will be an option for those beaders who are members of the Storytelling Beading Club. So at the usual time, we will come together. Instead of Facebook, we can come together on Zoom and spend some time in each other's company. So that will be our birthday party. In the meanwhile, I see Stefan, hello. Deb, Mektab is here. Sarah is happy for Zooming. Tanya too. Cheryl is here. Hello, Cheryl. I hope you are feeling good today. Kim is here. Oh, it makes me happy that you are happy. We had already one very fun Zoom session in December around around Christmas, and it was really, really nice to see each other. So for today, before we start, I just wanted to show some of the most favorite designs that we have beaded during the past year. Before we hop on straight to another, then let's just look back at a couple of them to see what we have been working on during the past year. And I told you on Tuesday during coffee time with Erika that my absolute favorite was 𝐻𝐿. So that's where I want to start, even if it was in December when we were beading it together. But this was one of my favorites. And when I look at the results of your work, then I think that it was also one of your favorites. And in the meanwhile, Belinda joined us. Hello, Belinda. And Donna and Alice and Sarah are here too. Hello, ladies. So this was one of my favorites. Then this was absolutely, I think, one of the nicest lessons that we had. This pendant was designed by our fellow clubber and my very, very good beading friend, Susie. And it was inspired by a set of earrings and bracelet that we have beaded before that I have designed. And then Susie went on and she designed a matching pendant. And she actually joined me on screen for the video when we were beading this together. So I really like to remember this beading lesson. Shirley loves that too. Hi. Sarah haven't beaded 𝐻𝐿 yet. That's a surprise. I think you will really like it, Sarah, if you get to it. Lutkas is also waiting for finishing. 𝐻𝐿 is, by the way, name of one of the main characters from a novel written by George Sand. It's called Mopra, and 𝐻𝐿 is the main female character. And I have just reread it because it came to my mind after we beaded 𝐻𝐿 together. Of course, the main character inspired the name, and I have reread the book just now. I finished it earlier this week. And then we also had Mallarmé. That was also a good one, I think. I hope you liked it. Cheryl says, I don't think I have made either of these yet. Oops, I know they will be in the long-term list. I really hope that you will find time for some of these, Cheryl. I think you will like them. Mallarmé was very fun. Like, it's so quick, and you can bead many different versions from it. Oh, and another one where we saw like many different results, and I remember that it really inspired you to make different versions of it. It is the peregrina, which was originally an earring. I beaded the whole pair. It means that was a good one. So, yeah. But when I asked you on Tuesday during coffee time with Erika that which one was your favorite from the last year, then actually most of you, or like many of you, mentioned one design that we have beaded together in 2020 indeed, during a series of video lessons, but it was not No One Has to Bead Alone, but it was when I was the guest teacher in Seed Beads and More, the big Facebook group for beaders, a very nice Facebook group ran by Anita. And then we were working on the Traveler, and I remember that for many of you, it was the first time getting friendly with bead embroidery. And we have beaded different pendants and brooches, and we used coins for the middle. And the coins, they represented memories, or they represented places where we want to go. So it was actually the travelers, they were like beaded pieces of memories, and we were traveling all around the world and visiting many different countries together thanks to the travelers, and also revisiting memories from the past, because it was a journey not only through different countries, but some of the beaders in the group, they remembered not places, but for example, people, significant people in their lives, thanks to the pendants. And Donna indeed says, it was my first bead embroidery. I loved learning to it. And Kim says, the Traveler was the beginning of my obsession with the bead embroidery. I'm very happy to spread this kind of addiction. Cheryl says, I know we have skipped the odd week, but we must have done at least 45-ish designs together this year. That's so many. Cheryl, I counted it earlier this week, and if I remember it well, then today it's the 48th design that we beat together. All of them, also the Travelers, they are uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you or anyone would like to look back, then it is absolutely possible, and it's also easier to count there the videos. I have just posted the link, so if you haven't seen my YouTube channel yet, then head over and subscribe so you get a notification when I upload something. And yeah, I just want to mention that those of you, if you started to like bead embroidery, and if you would like to go to the next step, then this week we have an amazing deal for handmade art cabochons at the storytellingjeweler.com bead shop. So you can get all of them with 12% discount. and they are like made by beaders with lots of love for beaders, and it feels amazing to work with them, especially in bead embroidery. So I really recommend to try them if you haven't done it yet. By the way, for me also, like the pendant on the right side, it's not only about a place, Nicaragua, because it features a Nicaraguan coin, but also about one of my best friends that I have met when I was there. So travelers are not only about places, but also about people. And today we will bead indeed the 48th, I think, 47 or 48, but I think 48. And it's called the Bloom. And I designed it specifically for this week because in the Storytelling Beading Club, we have a very fun challenge this month where I invited you to improvise. So I challenged you to select some of your beads with closed eyes and then trying to fit the rest of it to what you have chosen randomly. And while during the first week of March, we selected 1 of 4 beads with closed eyes. During the second week, 2 beads. And this week, hardcore beaders could really level up in improvising and could select 3 of their beads with closed eyes. And that's why I designed the Bloom earrings for you, because it features basic bead shapes, but lots of different bead shapes. So if you select 3 of them randomly, you still have plenty of room to like put there something what will somehow pull them together, or if they are very harsh colors as mine today, very vibrant ones, then there is plenty of room to tone them down with something else, especially if you also add maybe a bezeled rivoli or a crystal connector or a drop. And let's do a material check and let's start beading. So, what you will need today. Today, you are going to need a PRECIOSA rhinestone in the middle, a 4mm one, or SS16. It is optional, but I want to start with the middle, with naming the components that you need. Then you will need also half TILA beads. You will need, I have this yellow ones, matte yellow ones. Then you will need also 3mm fire polished beads, 1 or 2 colors. I have 2 colors in the original, and I don't know yet if in my second version I will use 1 color or 2 colors. You will also need GEMDUO beads, and then seed beads MIYUKI. You will need MIYUKI DELICA 11s. You will need size 15 round seed beads, and in 1 or 2 colors, depending on your choice. And you will also need size 11 round seed beads. And all the rest, it depends on what you want to make. If you would like to make earrings, pendant, brooch, ring, it's completely up to you, because this is one of those motifs that can truly be made into anything, even a bracelet. And I trust you ladies that during the weekend and the upcoming days, you will come up with many, many beautiful variations. In the meanwhile, Elena says, I have selected 3 colors with closed eyes, but I believe it will work for those multicolored worked for this multicolored design. Elena, I really trust your color picking skills, with closed eyes and open eyes too. And I believe the result will be beautiful. Lutka says that she got a package today, so she has a happy day. And if you are ready, then let's start beading. And Teresa also has a challenge. She says, my challenge today is not using GEMDUOs. I'm using ginkgos and honeycombs. I'm very curious of yours, Teresa. So let's start beading. I will also show the illustrations on the screen, and you can also download them from the page that I mentioned, and you can print them, or you can open them on another screen. Just a sec, just some adjustments for my second camera. And please let me know in a comment if you would like me to adjust something about my camera and everything. I will keep an eye on the comments. So we will start by picking up 4 3mm fire polished beads and 4 half TILA beads interchangeably. So fire polished, half TILA, fire polished, half TILA, and so on. Please make sure that the second hole of your half TILA is also open. Sometimes it can be clogged, and it is not a nice surprise if you discover it later. The half TILA beads, they have a flat side, or like kind of a flat side, and a bumpy side. So if you are a perfectionist beader, then make sure that all the bumps are turned towards the top of the pen of the motif. And when you have picked up your 8 beads, then please bead through them at least one more time to join them into a circle. But from my experience with this motif, I can tell you that it is easy for the beads in this motif to like slide apart a bit. So I will actually bead through all of my beads for a third time too, and I will stop beading after I have crossed the first fire polished bead that I have picked up. So this is how it looks like at the moment. And Cheryl says, it's too easy picking at random, so I made myself pick and pick bright. Much more challenging. If that is, well, the goal is to get out of our comfort zone. So if you are normally picking in random, then not picking in random can also be a challenge. And Donna says, I'm doing it eyes closed, so it may be pretty bad. I'm good with that though. Today, the goal is not to be the most beautiful jewel. Today, the goal is to go with the flow and make it work as good as possible and accept it. And Susie is here and she says, hi, Erika and ladies. I just got home. I'm happy I can greet you. Good to have you here, Susie. And in the second step, I am going to connect the fire polished beads with some size 11 DELICA beads. And I will pick up, I'm exiting a fire polished, I pick up 2 DELICA beads, I bead through the second hole, the open hole of the half TILA. Then again, I pick up 2 DELICA beads and I bead through the fire polished bead, the next one. And this is how I bead all around the motif. At the end, I want to finish by beading through the first pair of MIYUKI DELICA that I have picked up. And as you can see, I am using a very neutral color of MIYUKI DELICA beads today. And the reason is because my color choices with closed eyes, they came out, actually I am very, very happy with them, but they are in a spring mood, but they are pretty vibrant. So my blind eye color choices were the matte yellow 𝐂𝐻 TILA beads, this beautiful matte electric green GEMDUOs, and then the hazelnut 3mm fire polished beads. So I am working on, I think, like the yellow and the green, 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐿 or 𝐓𝐎𝐻𝐿, they fit together perfectly, but they need some toning down to make it work and to make it wearable for me personally. So that's why I chose this neutral color. And one of our beading friends says, I picked everything in different green. Strange. And now, by the way, that like tends to happen, it seems, because today also Kata, she picked 3 different shades of red and orange, so which I think she would never choose with open eyes. And in step 3, I am going to add size 15 round seed beads between the pairs of MIYUKI DELICA and between the outside holes of the 𝐻𝐻 TILA beads. And I want to finish by beading through a 3mm fire polished bead. Hello, Kirsten. Good to see you. I'm glad that you made it today. And Vania says, it's the Brazilian flag. Indeed, indeed. You're right. Vania comes originally from Brazil. A couple of weeks ago, we were beading together the Crossing Borders earring, and that also reminded some of us of flags, but this is again another one which can be a representation of a country. And Sarah says, I hide all my turquoise GEMDUOs because I do so much jewelry in turquoise. Your little treasure with the turquoise was very beautiful, by the way, last week. And Sarah says, but I did manage to sneak in some turquoise in one of my colorways. By the way, this week, even if like I have those weeks when I am just sleeping very badly, I have weeks when I sleep very well, and then weeks come when I just can't sleep, and this is one of those. So even if I was sleeping very badly this week, I finished the tutorial yesterday already instead of last minute, and I uploaded it yesterday to the page. And Sarah was a very, very good student, and she also prepared beads in advance, not 1, not 2, but 3 color combinations. And since she also had the tutorial already, then she beaded already a color combination, and I saw it, and it's super nice. And someone says, I will not be able to join you today. Have a nice weekend, ladies. Unfortunately, I don't see your name, but wishing you, thank you for saying, for checking in, and wishing you a very nice weekend. And lots of creative ideas, and happy beading. So after step 3, I have this little motif. By the way, even if I stopped here and if I beaded several of these motifs, like identical motifs, I think that would also be a good option for a jewel. So like often I say that you can add something to a design to make it your own, but you can also make it your own by leaving out parts of it. And I think this is a good option if you really want something simple. Imagine a net of these. I think that would be interesting. I'm changing my illustrations and moving on to steps 4, 5, 6. And I prepared 2 rhinestones. I couldn't choose before I have started, but now I see that I want to go for the aquamarine AB one. So much better than white opal, right? Oh, okay. I really like white opal too, even if I don't like white beads in general, but opal is different. But I will go today for the aquamarine AB rhinestone. And after exiting a 3mm fire polished bead, I pick up a number 15 seed bead. I pick up the rhinestone. This is the type when you have this metal setting on the back with a cross shape, and another number 15, and I bead through the fire polished bead exactly opposite of the one that I am exiting. So I have attached one of the holes of the rhinestone, and then I bead through the half TILA that is next to the fire polished that I am exiting. And in step 5, I pick up around 15, I cross the rhinestone through the second hole, I pick up another number 15, and I cross the half TILA bead opposite of the one that I was exiting at the beginning of step 5. And when I pull my thread, then you see that the rhinestone and the little number 15s, they fit exactly in the middle of the motif. This is also a possibility to stop here if you would like to make something smaller. And Vanya has to go. Vanya, thank you for checking in and take care. I am thinking about you. And keep us updated in the club, and I'm wishing you a nice weekend. And Sarah says, you can use it as a connector. And that's a super nice idea, I think. This part, this motif, it would fit in many gaps, actually. Often we can connect like 4 motifs to each other in a square shape, and then there is a gap in the middle, and it is a great idea that it would be possible to fill the gap, for example, with something like this, or exactly this. Someone saying good morning. I think it's Bonnie. Bonnie is always writing with capitals. If it's you, then good morning, Bonnie. And Shirley says, I really like my random color choices so far. I saw your picture before the broadcast, and I think it is super nice. I would be happy to pick them even with open eyes, what you have shown us, Shirley. And Cheryl says, I'm using a coffee teacup in the middle, teacup bead in the middle. So yes, it's worth to mention. I will explain step 6 first. So now this step actually is also optional. If you want to add more layers, then what you can do is that you pick up 2 DELICA beads, a number 11 seed bead, and 2 more DELICA beads, and then you bead through the next 3mm fire polished bead, gently so you don't break it, and the beads will be forming a V shape here. So this is optional, and also optionally, if you want even more colors in your beadwork, then you can use a second color of DELICA beads here. I think that's also worth to explore. How will it look like? And indeed, so this is how you go all around. You pick up groups of 2 DELICA beads, 1 size 11 round bead, and 2 more DELICAs, and then you bead through the fire polished bead. But to return to Cheryl's comment, she's using a teacup bead. It's a very, very cute bead shape that, because of my slight coffee addiction, we call it sometimes coffee cup. And you can add different shapes in the middle. You can also fill the middle with bicone beads. You can fill it with a rondelle bead, even a pearl. So there are different possibilities if you don't have a rhinestone yet. But it's actually, I think the rhinestone, it is a nice thing, these kinds of Suwon rhinestones, to have in our stash, because it is a very easy and fast way of adding a bit of bling on top of our motifs. And I am now filling in the last group of DELICA beads and round 11s. And Joyce is here, Esther is here, Patricia is here, and it's indeed Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. And Tanya, I'm sorry if I said something else. Let me check. You are right. You are totally right. It's round 15. I remembered that I made a little mistake in the first version of the motif, and I forgot that it has to, but it was step 7, and I wrote DELICA instead of round 11. No, this is round 15 and DELICA beads, but I will stay with my round 11s between the pairs of DELICA beads. It works well. I like them. It stays. So again, we have more options, but thank you so much, Tanya. So after I added all the groups of DELICA beads and size 15 or size 11, then I want to bead through the first group one more time. So this is how it looks like at the moment. And Tanya says, that's called improvise. Indeed, indeed. And the next step of illustrations, this is this step, step 7. And if you used size 15, as was in the printed instruction in step 6, then I recommend to go for step 11 in step 7. But if you went with what I said and what I did, that you used a size 11 in the middle in step 6, then I will go for size 15 or a different color of size 11 in step 7. But again, that's very personal, so it's up to you. If you use the same size 11, same color of size 11 as in step 6, I think the flower shape will be even more emphasized, because it will look like petals of a flower. So in step 7, I pick up size 15, then up to you. It can be size 11, it can be a DELICA, completely up to you, or another size 15 actually. And you connect the groups of beads added in step 6 with these new groups of beads. And Ula is here. Hello, Ula. And she says, I'm using a 6mm Egyptian rhinestone from my belly dancing days. In the middle, it works. I'm curious, Ula. And this will be another keepsake piece with the memory included. And Katja has to go and prepare dinner. Then enjoy cooking, that's also creating. And have a nice weekend, Katja, and see you on Monday. Or see you earlier. Usually I always decide to like go offline for the weekend. And guess what's the first thing that I do on a Saturday morning? And Shirley says, mine looks like a very cute little flower. I'm curious. In step 7, you can also like make the petals made that you beaded in step 6 a bit more pointy if you skip the bead in the middle. Joanna is here. She says, hello everyone, so sorry I'm late. I will watch later. Sorry if I had missed all the fun. Joanna, it's always better later than not at all. So it's really nice to see you. And you were also there when we had the Zoom session in December. So a very important piece of information that you missed at the beginning is that next week we are having a Zoom session again. And I hope that you can join us. I will post the link in the club. It will be the same time as our usual Friday beadings. And after you have added, Jana is happy, after you have added all the petals in the middle in steps 6 and 7, the goal is to finish by beading through one of the 3mm fire polished beads. So this is it. Still, imagine that if you stopped here, then it would still be possible to connect the same motifs to each other by putting next to each other the half TILA beads. So it would be then until step 6, if you did that, it would be like a geometric kind of beadwork, but it would be like a blooming flower field if you connected motifs to each other like this. By the way, okay, I will explain step 8 and then I have to return to something that I would like to share with you, an idea to use this. So in step 8, you bead to the edge of the motif through a pair of DELICA beads, through a round 15, half TILA, and another round 15. And you will be connecting these beads on the edge to each other, always the round 15, half TILA, round 15, by groups of DELICA, GEMDUO, DELICA. So I am now exiting the round 15. I pick up a DELICA bead. I pick up a GEMDUO, and then I bead back through the open hole of the GEMDUO. At least here you discover it right away if the second hole is clogged. And then you pick up a DELICA bead and you bead through round 15, half TILA, round 15. And here, if you pull your thread, then the GEMDUO will be like nicely not moving, nice, stable here. And please be careful when you are passing through these 3 beads because they are pretty tightly next to each other, so it is easy to break them. Be careful, especially if you have matte beads like I do. And Joanna says, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that time. Me too, Joanna. And thank you. So this is how I bead all around. I pick up a DELICA bead, I pick up a GEMDUO, I bead back through the GEMDUO bead, the second hole, I pick up another DELICA, and then I bead through round 15, half TILA, and round 15. And I continue in the same way. Susie has to go. She's wishing us a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Susie, and sending hugs to you too. See you soon, at least virtually, and thank you for joining us for a little bit. And Elena says, I am just going with the flow of the colors and the result becomes crazy. I'm curious, Elena, what kind of colors are you using? And I'm very curious to learn that how do you ladies who really went hardcore improvising and you chose 3 of your colors with closed eyes, how do you feel? How does it feel to like accepting maybe a color combination that you would have never chosen on your own? I know that during the previous weeks, some pretty awesome color combinations were born, and some of you even said that, yay, that this is something that you have discovered that is nice, and it gave you like a new perspective on combining colors. In the meanwhile, Georgie is here. See ya, Georgie. And Nicolene is here too. Hello, Nicolene. I'm trying to force my way through the half TILA gently. I'm adding the last group that I need with the DELICA, GEMDUO, DELICA combination. And when I'm done with that, then I want to bead through the first group that I have added. I don't like to start right away the new step. I like to repeat the first part of the step before adding new beads. So here I bead through the DELICA, GEMDUO, DELICA again, and even through the round 15 seed beads just in front of a half TILA. So this is how it looks like, and please let me know, how does it feel to bead this, and how do you like your colors so far? If you have any questions, then I am here and I am happy to answer everything. And Mektab says she's nervous. Dear Mektab, I really trust you that it will come out right. Or even if it will not be your favorite jewel, that you will learn something new. And that is the important part today. Letting it go and accepting and being open to new combinations. No. Nicolene, no, just Zuzi was saying goodbye, so that's why I was saying goodbye, but we are still beading together. No worries. Are you beading too, Nicolene? And Tanya says, for today, I was worried to pick 3 colors. Me too, Tanya. I was really afraid. But it turned out well. So far, so good. Don't know what will happen if we have to pick 4 with eyes closed. You know what, Tanya? I don't dare to go there. Also, that's why the timing of the Zoom class, that the 4th week in March, we will bead together, and if you want, you can choose an older design and go extreme hardcore and choose 4 colors, but we can also just chat and enjoy each other's company. And Lutka says, but like, I really admire you ladies, everyone who went with this crazy call on choosing colors with closed eyes. You're great. Kata says, it's really exciting. I learn a lot using these unusual combinations. And Lutka says, that's really nice to hear, Kata. That was the goal. And Lutka says, cooperating with my husband in choosing the colors is amazing. That's so nice, Lutka. To je také pekné. Catherine, hi. She says, I haven't been able to join for a while. Selecting beads with closed eyes sounds awesome. It was really fun, Catherine, and we are like learning and accepting, and I think it's really pushing us in developing our color picking skills. So go for it if you want to. Elena says, I'm curious about 4 colors as well. Happy to hear that you like the combination. Anna, she says, hello everyone, I'm late today, but we'll see your video later. Anna, it's good to have you. I hope everything is all right. And Shirley says, I realized I put the GEMDUOs in the wrong spot. Oops. Unfortunately, I don't have now a suggestion to work around it. I would unpick it and go for it again. Oh, Cheryl says, I regret not picking at random and not using one of my precious rhinestones. Cheryl, what about going back to one of the designs during the weekend that you have not beaded yet, that I have been showing at the beginning? And you can maybe play there with picking randomly. What do you think? There you can also use, in many times you can also use rhinestones there. Eleanor says, I was a little disappointed when I got blue beads this week too, but I think the result will be better than I expected. Have a 6mm 2-hole cabochon in the middle. I'm curious, Eleanor. Yes, actually, yay, if someone doesn't have a 4mm rhinestone, then we have so many 2-hole 6mm flat back beads that it's really easy in this case to substitute it with something else. Thank you, Eleanor. Nicolene says, I just woke up. Often I need a little nap around this time of the day, so I will watch. I am studying the directions now. That's a good beginning. And Teresa says, beaders are multitaskers, so we can do both beads and fellowship. And Donna says, it's actually kind of fun. If it's really bad, I'm going to put the shows with eyes closed disclaimer with my post. And Elena says, you asked about my colors today. Travertine, green iris, and opaque azure turquoise. And I have gone crazy, have added some red to it. Oh wow, Elena, that sounds like unusual for you, as far as I know your color combinations. And my big sister Yvette is here. Hi, Yvette. I will explain step 9 in the meanwhile, and please tell us, how was the day in the warehouse? I'm curious, and I think everyone is curious. And in step 9, we will be adding groups of 3mm fire polished beads, 3mm fire polished DELICA, another 3mm fire polished over the half TILA bead, and then in between the two holes of the GEMDUOs, we will add 5 MIYUKI DELICA beads. And I am now a bit experimenting because, in fact, I put here 5 colors of possible 3mm fire polished beads for the outside edge of my motif. I couldn't decide in advance, so I think I will go with the light blue ones. To like emphasize, again, my English pronunciation. I don't have a clue how to pronounce that. I want to emphasize the blue tones in my beadwork. So I pick up 3mm fire polished DELICA bead, 3mm fire polished, and then I bead through the round 15 seed bead on the other side of the half TILA. I bead through the DELICA bead and the first hole of the GEMDUO, and then I pick up 5 pieces of MIYUKI DELICA beads, and I bead back through the second hole of the GEMDUO, also through the MIYUKI DELICA next to it, and then through the round 15 in front of a half TILA, and then I continue all around. And Anna says, so happy to hear your voice. It makes me glad and happy after a hard-working day. I was one of my way to take a rest in a sofa when I suddenly recognized that this is Friday and Erika is sending live. Oh no. I hope you will have a relaxing evening and weekend, and thank you so much for joining us and for your kind words. And I hope that you can take a good rest during the weekend. Cheryl is approving of my pronunciation. We sometimes joke about my pronunciation of some English words. It's not only during beading lessons. Like most of my friends here, they are, well, either Dutch or either coming from other countries like me, but very, very rarely actually someone who is a native English speaker. It's funny. One of my very, very, very few friends who is a native English speaker, he is from New Zealand, actually. So again, another kind of pronunciation. But like once in like ages ago, when he and his wife were here to have brunch with us, then we were laughing that no one except of Chris can pronounce miscellaneous correctly. So we had a little challenge. Okay, it seems I really like challenges, and I challenge my friends in real life also, not only in beading. We had a challenge of like incorporating the word miscellaneous as many times during our conversation over brunch as possible. So that was a fun one. And let's see what Yvette says about her day in the storytelling warehouse. She says, I got in a bit late as my older one had to have one of his milk teas pulled out. Did you do it yourself? And also first we had to do our daily homeschooling. Schools being closed since mid-December, but opening on Monday. Oh my God, such great news. Happy dancing mother I am now. Okay, something also about the warehouse. We managed to finish packing of some of glass cabochons, so we have them all nice and tidy now. And we packed some packages. I once tasted the names and also had some Preciosa experience too. That sounds exciting, Yvette, especially the milk tooth one. And like, kudos to you homeschooling since December. Like, it must be really, like, in a way exciting to spend so much time with the kiddos, but also challenging. And Cheryl says, you should hear some of my attempts at Slovak this week. Cheryl, you are keeping up your Slovak lessons? We are meeting through Zoom next week, so I really hope that you will be able to join us and you can show us your Slovak. You can show off your Slovak skills if you want to. Oh, so cute that you are learning our language. And Yvette says, yes, you do like challenges, Erika, and challenging your friends and family. Did I ever challenge you to do something? Okay, I remember one, but share stuff. If something comes to your mind, how did I challenge you as my big sister? Then share it with us. Teresa also wants to hear Cheryl's Slovak language skills next week. 20 words, you are going good. Slovak is hard. Like, I have learned it, like, I am from Slovakia, but I am Hungarian. There is a huge Hungarian minority in Slovakia because of, well, borders shifting in the past century. And I learned actually Slovak as an adult. Okay, we always had like Slovak lessons given in kindergarten and school, but I could recite the biographies of famous writers or poets, but I have never had an actual real-life conversation until I went to university. So I learned to speak Slovak properly only as an adult when I was studying in Slovak at the university. Oh, Asaria has a suggestion of putting the talking banner on the screen on the top or somewhere else where it does not block what your hands are doing. I don't think I can do that. I'm sorry, Asaria. I will have to look into it. It's a very, very good idea. Thank you so much. And I will actually contact customer support of the broadcasting program to ask if it's possible, because I totally agree with you. I didn't realize it yet, but now if I'm looking around in the program, I don't see the option, unfortunately, how to do it. But thank you. Oh, I'm not afraid, Teresa. And Nicolene says, oh, good that you talk about the language, because I also wanted to ask you, if you speak your own language, is it a good idea to translate a bit for us, or maybe one word, and we can learn that word? I am always interested to learn other languages. That's so cute, Nicolene. Tell me the word you would like to learn and what you would like me to teach to everyone here, and I will tell it in Hungarian. Oh, and Yvette, that was also the one I was remembering. She says, you made me cross the shallow but cold river in the Moroccan Todravoli twice, so you can take better pictures of me. Yes, it was like a super cold river, indeed. And actually, there was a bridge just next to us, about like 20 meters from us, but I had this amazing idea that Yvette would look awesome in the middle of the river. So I made her cross it, and then it was super cold, that icy cold feeling, you know, when it feels like knives are in your feet. And then I sent her back because I wanted better pictures. That's how traveling with me looks like. But I also made it. Yes, it was freezing cold. But I did it with you. I did not send only you. I did it with you. And Yvette says, I did look awesome. I love that picture of you. And as Teresa says, it was an artistic decision. And Nicolene says about the word bead. Okay, so it's in Hungarian, it's gyöngy. I hope everyone is now trying in front of their computers at home. So say it aloud, gyöngy, please, and then you can practice until next week. Gyöngy. Someone says no one has to be alone in Hungarian. And Vica just joined us just in time for our Hungarian lesson, so it's great. And no one has to be alone in Hungarian. Nem kell egyedül gyöngyöt fűznöd. But I will be happy if you learn gyöngy. Everyone can say it next week during our beading session on Zoom. And in the meanwhile, Nicolene tried it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Kata, thank you. Kata answered your question. Someone says, oh my. And this is just the beginning of Hungarian. So in step 10, I am starting out from a DELICA bead in between two 3mm fire polished beads. And I pick up 4 pieces of number 15 seed beads. Again, you can see how unsure I was about my color choices today, because I have like 3 options for my round 15 seed beads, so I can decide what is the best. And I think I will go with this matte gold, so it matches a bit the half TILAs. It has this yellow tone. And after picking up the 4 round 15s, I bead up through the GEMDUO bead. I pull my thread. I try to arrange the beads in a way that they are flat. Here, like, already try making it look nice. And then you bead through all the DELICA beads on top of the GEMDUO, all 5 of them. you bead towards the middle of the motif through the second hole of the GEMDUO. You pick up 4 pieces of the round 15 seed beads, and then you bead through the DELICA between the fire polished beads in the middle, and again try arranging them already in a way that it looks nice. And this is how you go all around. Lutka is also trying. And Cheryl. Jonah says that will take some practice. We can practice next week together if you want. Marion is here. Marion was the cover girl for the Club Designs article on our blog this week. We started putting together an article every week. Susie is helping me with that, about the beautiful versions that you are beading. And Marion had, it was awesome. Marion, like, it was the little treasure design, but you made it like very special. Marion made a pair of pardon, ear studs and a very special brooch with faux fur. I'm stuck again with my pronunciation. Fake fur, fake animal thingy. And it looked very nice. And someone is celebrating. I see happy birthdays. Who is celebrating? Ladies, I can't find the comment. Who is celebrating? Or do you mean that no one has to be the one is celebrating? We have a link right at the beginning of the comments thread. And if you click on that, then you can enable my broadcasting program to see your name. So I'm going forward with filling in my groups of 4 round 15 seed beads. Sorry, I will at least try to like bead in the top part of the screen so you can see my screen until I figure out if I can do something with the location of the comments, and I show them on the screen. Alicia is here. Hi, Alicia. So, ladies, how is it going with your blooms, with your blooming? Okay. Thank you, Katalin. Thank you, Kata, for helping them out. That's a very good phrase to learn for next week. Indeed. By the way, it was really funny when I was chatting with some of the ladies in the club today, and it happened like 2 or 3 times that they said like they are not entirely happy with the colors that they picked randomly. However, they will throw in some turquoise and it will fix the color combination. So I was really like smiling that indeed turquoise fixes everything. And Teresa says, so what I have done is enable the captions on Facebook, so I only see the words on the leftmost screen, not her hands. Okay. Whatever helps. Eleanor already finished her first earring. Today I am beading. I think I am beading a brooch. I have beaded 2 motifs from my first color combination. I was really happy with how the first one came out. Also with the crystal connector and the glass drop in metal setting at the bottom. So I wanted to make it like an actual wearable earring for 2-eared people. But this one, I think it will stay as a single motif. So I will make it into a brooch. And some of you were saying before the broadcast that in the club that we don't have now enough brooch filigrees, so I am going to order some more during the upcoming days, so they will be available again. So I am now adding the last group of 4 round 15 seed beads. I bead through the DELICA between the fire polished beads, and also the first group of 4 round 15s that I have added now. And I will now connect the groups of 4 round 15s to the groups of 5 DELICA beads with another DELICA bead. Just a second, I try to adjust the light of my camera. There is a ring light around my camera because it can maybe be stronger, but nope. Okay. So I am exiting the round 15s. I picked up a DELICA and then I bead through all the DELICA beads on top of the GEMDUO. Again, I pick up a DELICA and then I bead through 4 of the round 15s. I pick up a DELICA bead. I pick up a round 15 and another DELICA. I skip the DELICA that is between the 2 fire polished beads, and I bead right away into the group of 4 DELICA beads. And this is how I continue all around. In the meanwhile, comments coming in. Marian likes my colors. Thank you. Okay, ladies chatting about how about options, how to how to watch the broadcast. Lutka is also beading her second one. And Sarah would like to have a filigree box with different sizes and colors. That's a very good idea, my friend, I think. By the way, I am so happy that you ladies like the Preciosa boxes, and I would like to thank everyone who decided to recommend it to friends and who decided to share it or decided to order it or decided to order it again. Thank you so much, ladies. Also for like mentioning us in the beading groups during this week. I have to say that we had many new beaders placing an order this week. So when you mention us, or when you share something and when you recommend us, then please know that it really has an impact, and we are super grateful for it. And actually, like, every order that is placed through the eShop, it brings us closer to big dreams, like starting a magazine in the future when it's possible, then starting traveling together. I will not make you go into a freezing cold river if you don't want to, but only if you are willing to. But we have many big plans that we want to make come true. And every time when you recommend us to a beader, or share something, or mention the website, and then someone new places an order, or you places an order, then it brings us closer to make those dreams come true. So thank you so much, ladies. And the ladies like Sarah's idea of filigrees. And please always, like, if you have an idea like this, then please share it with us, because we are really happy if we know that what would you like to have. So thank you for all the ideas. Shirley says, I won't go into a cold river, but I will be glad to go into a hot tub. Well, this happened with the cold river in Morocco. And in Morocco, there are also very famous traditional bathing houses. So if you like those kinds of treats, then that is also very possible. But actually, the valley where we went together with Yvette, and where I made her to stand in the freezing cold river twice for the picture, it was super beautiful. I will look up the picture for you afterward. Cheryl needs an elephant to make her go into a freezing cold river. I can be very persuasive, I can say. Thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you, Joanna. Claire says a filigree and drop box would be nice. Okay. By the way, I can't say, but we have lots of ideas for this year.